Do you wonder what is the difference between obsessions and compulsions? And why does it even matter? Well, we'll talk all about it. Stay tuned. That's what's up next. Hi, my name is Natasha Daniels. I'm a therapist and I make videos for people with anxiety and OCD. And today I want to talk to you about something that kind of drives me nuts, only because if you don't get this, it can really impact your ability to crush OCD. And that is the difference between obsessions and compulsions. And yes, there is a difference. And yes, it is really important. So for those of you that don't understand it, or maybe you think you do, let's just have a recap. So with OCD, you have an intrusive thought or feeling or image that gets stuck in your head. And those are called obsessions. And they can be intrusive thoughts. I think I'm a bad person. They could be intrusive feelings. I feel like I can't breathe, or I feel like my heart might stop. Or they could be intrusive images. Why do I keep seeing this over and over again in my head? That image is really upsetting. It gets stuck. So it can be literally anything, but those are the themes. They're intrusive thoughts, feelings, or images that get stuck in your head, even songs. The idea is that they're stuck in your head and they're bothering you. They're causing you distress. Those are called obsessions. That's the O part of OCD. And then there are the compulsions, the C part of OCD. So you have these intrusive thoughts, feelings, or images, or songs that are stuck in your head, causing you distress, and you want to get rid of it. And so you have to do or avoid something to get some brief relief, right? And those are called compulsions. And they can look different for each person. So if I'm having this intrusive thought, feeling, or image or song stuck in my head, and it's causing me distress, because I can have a song that's stuck in my head and not causing me distress. I've had one in my head for like the last week, driving my kids crazy, but I'm okay with it. That's not OCD. But when it's bothering me and causing distress, that's when it's an obsession. And not an obsession like, oh, I love Roblox, or oh, I love Netflix, or oh, I love chocolate, or oh, I'm obsessed with my phone. No, it's an intrusive thought or feeling that is ongoing and causing you a lot of distress. And then I'm like, I need to get rid of this. So I'm going to do or avoid something. And that is very different for every single person. And that's why OCD is often missed, because the obsessions look different, the intrusive thoughts or feelings, and the compulsions look really different. For some people, they might avoid. And avoidance is a huge compulsion. In fact, I did an entire YouTube video all about that. And that gets missed. So I might avoid certain numbers, I might avoid certain colors, I might avoid certain words, I might avoid certain places. Avoidance is a very big compulsion. I might avoid touching things or eating things or seeing things, right? That might make me feel better for a brief period of time. That's the compulsion. I might have to ask for reassurance. I might have to ask over and over and over again, is this okay to eat? Or is this okay to say? Or did I do this wrong, right? Over and over again with the people that I love. And that's reassurance seeking, which in the OCD world can be a compulsion. I have an intrusive thought. I ask for reassurance. I feel better briefly. Briefly is the key word. I might have compulsions where I have to do things to ward off bad things from happening. Magical thinking, did a whole YouTube video on that. So it doesn't matter what your compulsion is, and it doesn't matter what your obsession is, but you need to know that these are two components to OCD. I have an obsession, intrusive thought or feeling or image, and I have a compulsion. I have to do or avoid something to get brief relief. Now, a lot of times people focus just on the obsession. In fact, I would get a lot of questions that'll say, Natasha, I have an intrusive thought. How do I handle intrusive thought? I have OCD. How do I handle intrusive thoughts? That question in and of itself doesn't make any sense, because everybody with OCD has an intrusive thought or feeling. That's just part of OCD. So that's not special and different than the rest of the world with OCD. So my answer is the same for anyone who has an intrusive thought or feeling or image stuck in their head, is you have to do exposure with response prevention, ERP. And I made a whole YouTube video on that as well, and you can see that. What is ERP and how does it work? Because that is really the main way to really tackle these things. Now, people get stuck on the obsession part of things, and that's where most people go wrong, is they're trying to get rid of the obsessions. They're trying to say, I don't want these intrusive thoughts or feelings or images in my head. How do I get rid of them? And that's not the right question. And I've done a whole YouTube video on that as well, because a lot of times we're focusing on the wrong thing. We're focusing on the obsessions and not the compulsions. It's the compulsions that are the problem, not the obsessions. Everybody has intrusive thoughts, but not to the level of OCD. OCD has a filtering issue, right? So it's not filtering out, and so you're becoming very aware of it, and it's uncomfortable. We can't control those intrusive thoughts or feelings, but what we can control is what we do with them, the compulsions. So the goal with OCD is not to get rid of these thoughts or feelings. I know that's very upsetting, but it's realistic. The goal is to build up our muscles to tolerate the distress that they bring. Ironically, side note, when you start to work on the compulsions, a lot of times those intrusive thoughts and feelings start to get quieter and go away. But that's not our goal, right? Our goal is to build up the confidence to handle the discomfort that the intrusive thoughts or feelings or images bring. That's the goal. And so we don't want to get stuck on the O part of OCD. We want to get stuck on the C part of OCD. We want to focus on the compulsions. When OCD comes knocking and says, hey, I think you should tap twice, I'm going to say, hey, I think you should leave me alone. You want me to tap twice? Okay, I'm going to not tap at all. Or maybe I'm going to tap 3 times because that's a bad number to OCD. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm focusing on my behavior, right? Not my thoughts. Thoughts are just thoughts. Yes, they are crazy upsetting and they drive the compulsions. But when we're focusing on how to crush OCD, we're focusing on the C part of OCD. How am I going to respond to this compulsion? Am I going to do it? Am I going to avoid it? Am I going to do the opposite of it? Am I going to pay attention to these compulsions? And I'm going to pay attention to the themes of my intrusive thoughts or feelings or images, because it gives me kind of ammunition on how to really upset my OCD. So if my OCD is always saying I'm a bad person, and I'm noticing all my compulsions are around those thoughts, then when I get really strong and build up my muscles, I might rock the boat. And I might say, all my themes are around, worrying I'm a bad person. So I'm going to do exposures where I'm purposely having these thoughts, or I'm purposely doing things to really upset my OCD. Now that comes down the road. You may not be ready for that. You might think I'm crazy, but that's really how you build your muscles over time. But the purpose of this YouTube video is just to get you to stop focusing solely on these obsessions and getting rid of these intrusive thoughts, feelings, or images, and focusing on what you're doing with that. Focusing on the compulsions, your avoidance, your reassurance, your ritualistic behavior. What things are you doing that OCD is telling you will get rid of these thoughts, feelings, or images? Because guess what? It won't get rid of them. I don't care what you say, it won't get rid of them. It might feel better in the short term, but the more you do what OCD says, the more OCD will make you do things. And that's just how OCD grows. You can never beat or crush OCD by doing what OCD wants, because when you do that, OCD grows bigger. The neural pathways grow bigger. And so yes, it might feel good in that short time and you might think, I just can't fight it. But the best way to deal with the intrusive thoughts, feelings, or images is to focus on the C. Focus on the compulsions, focus on how you're reacting to them. When you don't feed the beast starts to starve. So that's the main goal, and I hope this helps clarify things and give you a boost in the right direction. I hope you find the sparkle in everything you do, and I'll talk to you again next Thursday. Take care.